Grand Rising, witches, wizards, warlocks, and warriors, right? I don't know where that came from. Message of the day, and this is more of a full moon in Cancer follow up. If you notice the way I posted, it's always like I'm a little late, but I'm starting to like own into that because I think that there's enough content and for you to understand things, but let's figure out what you've processed or where you're going or what you need to know like after the energy is there, after you're sitting in it, because I can only warn you so much on what might happen, right? So you're prepared for that. But it really is the work that you do during that energy. So I put a poll on my Instagram, and even if you didn't take the poll, you could take it now because I have 4 piles here because there was 4 options. And the question was, how was the full moon treating you? Full moon in Cancer treating you? And option 1 was it was peaceful. Option 2 was I was crying like a baby. Option 3 is that it was enlightening. And option 4, it was confusing. So I'm going to timestamp this. You're going to see this on YouTube, so it'll be timestamped as well. And so even if you didn't take the poll, take it now, right? So tell me how the full moon treated you, right? Peaceful, crying like a baby. 3 is enlightening, and 4 is confusing. And sit with that for a second, and I'm going to go into each and like what we need to know, or what's a follow up there, or maybe why you were peaceful, or why are you still crying? Why were you crying, or why was it enlightening, or why was it confusing for you? And we're going to go through it, and it's kind of so we can kind of break down what the emotions and the heightened emotions and process right things on a different level. Really, now we're going to talk about our thoughts and our feelings, and we're going to try to change the narrative here so it's not in a negative context, so everyone just doesn't think that they were crying like a baby for no reason. No, there's a reason, right? So let's go into pile number 1, which is if the full moon in Cancer was peaceful for you. Let me just timestamp this. Excellent. So let's see what we got here. We have true offering. I am the love of my life. I am enough. I see why this is peaceful for you. Shift your focus off the problems to see the solutions. You have all you need. Now, this is why it was peaceful for you, right? And it's interesting because I can kind of see who picked that, and I can definitely tell those are the folks that are doing the work. They really are in a different vibe, and I really do know who my followers are on Instagram at least. But if this is the option that you picked, option number 1, the full moon in Cancer was peaceful for you. True offering takes what can be an unbearable cross and returns it to love. You really were having a peaceful full moon in Cancer because you really realized that you are the love of your life. 1, for some of you, you really just kind of gave into spirit. Like see, this person is giving the crow. Like, here, just take it. And you really were in a space of like I will take whatever comes my way. And when you put out that energy of I'll take what comes my way, I'm in a positive vibe, right? You're talking to yourself, you're hyping yourself up, right? You really do shift away from the problems. Shift your focus off the problems to see the solution. And at the same time, with this true offering, it's like you're giving the solutions to spirit, but you also know that you are doing the work. You've put in the work. You've had a peaceful full moon in Cancer because you've done the work. Pat yourself on the back right now. You have, right? You're in a good space. You're in a very loving space. I am the love of my life. I am enough. And that is a true aspect of spirituality. It's a very lonely aspect, right? You've been doing this work for a long time, but you really are just giving it all to spirit. And the full moon in Cancer didn't ruin you or heighten your emotions or crush your family. I mean, in some senses, there was just a sense of peacefulness, which is why you chose peacefulness. And I really wanted to change that word to safe because mine too this is my pile. It was very safe in all aspects, in like ways that you wouldn't even understand. Like the connections that I made during those 2 days, 3 days were so safe, coming from a space where I was worried about safe connections. And I want to speak to that, right? The universe always gives you what you need, not what you want. That's what I went through. It's like, wow, I needed that. Might not have been what I wanted, but it was safe for me, right? Big aspect there. So you really are in a space of love. You kind of understand here what true love is, and you really shifted off the problem. You really don't have problems because you know that the universe has your back here. Let's just get a follow-up animal spirit here for you for my peaceful full moon in Cancer vibers. Witches, wizards, and warlocks, and warriors. I don't know where that came from. Take the lead, Sag spirit, right? So you've taken the lead in your life. You've taken the lead in your spiritual practices, in your day-to-day life. You realizing that you are the love of your life, and you really are giving it back, and there are no problems there because you're focusing on seeing the solution and realizing that you are the solution. You are the problem and you are the solution, and you're giving it back to the universe to give back to you, right? It's just an equal give and take, right? Six of Pentacles here. So, that's definitely the vibe that the peaceful vibe here is getting. That's definitely what I'm getting here for the peaceful crew. Let me just pull a tarot card here. Any other advice we need to know? Ace of Cups. Look at that. Filling up your own cup. Look at the synchronicities here. You had a peaceful full moon in Cancer because you really understand what it means to fill your own cup up. You're doing that work. You have done that work. You're in this vibe where your cup is overflowing. This is why it was peaceful. You have enough to give to others, but you really know how to give to yourself. That was beautiful, guys. Okay, excellent. Love that vibe for you. Let's move on to the next. Next is going to be crying like a baby. 6:45. Sorry, I'm just time stamping that. So if you have chosen the second option, how was this full moon in Cancer impacted you, and you were crying like a baby. Your emotions were probably very heightened, and you probably also with confused, why am I crying, right? So you might be torn between both. So I would suggest you watch, both, or whichever ones you resonate with now that you're seeing this follow-up video that I've created out of thin air, right? So crying like a baby. Let's kind of see what the universe kind of has in store for you, so as to why you might have been crying like a baby. From the shamanic healing cards, I picked them purposely intended to the question. Unlimited possibilities and the truth. So, why were you crying like a baby here? It very well could have highlighted, I see where this is going. The ability, you tapping into unlimited possibilities, right? We always have access to unlimited possibilities. And with the truth, it's almost like the full moon in Cancer held you by the throat and was like, listen, you're not seeing me and hearing me properly. And emotions were very heightened because it's almost like it puts you in a very vulnerable state. And I think you also realize that you have the abilities to tap into your unlimited possibilities, and realizing that it starts with you. And I feel like maybe some of you were even crying because you already knew why you were crying. As much as some of you say you're not sure why you were crying, it could have been tears of happiness. It could have been tears of wow, I really do know how to manifest things that I want. I really do know how to tap into my unlimited possibilities, my limitless possibilities. Your daily affirmations and in any aspect at night, in the morning, should really be asking the universe, thanking them first, and then saying, I want to tap into my unlimited amounts of prosperity and abundance. I want to tap into my unlimited amount of love and joy and whatever it is that you're asking for, because you always have that. Sometimes you just need to tell your higher self, let me tap into something that I already have access to, right? And the truth. Some of you might very well have found out the truth about certain things, right? You very well might have came to realizations while you're crying your eyes out and realize that there's a truth here. Is there people that you love or you don't love? Is there situations about yourself that you like or you don't like? A lot of truth came with those crying moments, right? And if you haven't yet, then expect them to, right? But I think you really tapped into something that you weren't really expecting here, or the truth came out and it hurt, and that's why you were crying here. Let's kind of get some more cards here. Four of Pentacles, the Queen, the Queen of Cups, right? You very well could have realized that you are safe. You are safe. Bottom of the deck, Nine of Pentacles. You are safe. And those emotions very well could have just been wow, I know I'm good. I know I'm okay. maybe coming from a space where you weren't in the past. Four of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups, right? Heightened emotions, very emotionally heightened here. But it's about your safety. You were crying about, maybe you're not in a good position right now, some of you, right? You're not safe, you're not secure. So you're crying because like you want to be there. That's where you really need to tap into your unlimited possibilities. Right? You really do have the capabilities to do it. You just might not be there. You're very worried. Some of you could have been crying because you're worried about your safety. You're worried about your income here, right? You're blocking your heart here, but yet you're so emotional at the same time. You know, it's, you know, there an aspect of like wanting to be safe, right? So there's a big aspect here with safetyness. Four of Pentacles to me is about like safety and security, and the Queen of Cups is about safety and security as well. She's a mother. She wants to make sure she protects her people and protects thyself is first, right? Bottom of the deck, Nine of Pentacles. Why it's all happening? Because you really want to be secure. You want to be financially stable. You want to be foundationally stable, right? This is just overall secure, glow up vibes, content with where you're at, contentment here with the Nine of Pentacles. And that might have been why you were crying, because you're like, you know what, maybe you're not content, but tap into that. Ask your higher self to tap into those unlimited possibilities and show you the truth of what you really need to know. Tell me what it is I need to know. And it has to do with your security. And it very well could be your emotional security as well with the Queen of Cups. Right? A lot of truth might have come to light. Maybe you're not seeing it yet, but you cried your eyes out for something there. Could have been in worry about my safety. I'm worried, but at the same time, you're a spiritualist. You're watching this. You will be good. You always had access to that. You always had it, and you can always have access to it. Right? Maybe that just kind of came into you, like you're crying because oh my God, I'm actually safe. Oh my God, I'm actually in a heightened vibe that I can see my safety coming through. I know what I need to do in order to get to a safe place in my mind where I feel secure and I have a glow up and I'm doing things my way, birdie on my finger, right? Doing things my way that makes you feel safe and secure. Let's pull an animal spirit for those that had heightened emotions. Let's see. Bring a gentle touch, dear spirit. Please don't beat yourself up, right? Be gentle with yourself. Yes, cry it out. That's okay. Be gentle with yourself. Do not judge yourself and forgive yourself, please. Be gentle on yourself. Don't beat yourself up that you were going through a heightened full moon and you are going through a heightened full moon in Cancer. Be gentle with yourself. Bring a gentle touch. Process it, understand it. Don't let it get to you. Don't make hasty decisions. Don't make big drastic changes because of that energy. Just sit with it. Like the deer sitting next to you. Like if you scare it off, it's going to run away. So don't scare yourself off. And don't run away from anything. Sit with it. 18 broken down to a 9. 9 of Pentacles, right? The more gentle you are with yourself, the more you'll see how secure you are. 9 and 9. Which means you're almost there. One more, you're about to achieve something. So the emotions needed to go through. You needed to cry it out in order for you to go process the emotions, in order for you to understand what it is that you needed to see, the truth behind something that you really have access to at all times. I like. Let's go to pile number 3. If this was an enlightening full moon for you, if this was an enlightening full moon for you, let's see what that's about. Why was it enlightening? What do you need to know? What's the follow-up for you for the full moon in Cancer if you chose enlightening? Action from the energy oracle. Magician and the Mirror. Ooh, I already know what this is. Okay. Why was it enlightening for you? Let me pull up my wizard sleeves here, right? Why was this enlightening for you? You really realized the magical abilities that you have. Magician in the Mirror. You really realized that you can manifest Magician card, right? That you really do have the tools that you need. It was like inspirational. And you're ready to take action, right? Enlightening in the sense like, oh shit, I know what I need to do. I am prepared. I can dabble in fire and handle my emotions with the water. I do have passion and creativity, and I also can handle my emotions, right? What else? typically all four elements are pictured here, but that's the Magician card. You really realize that wow, shit, I am good. I really can manifest what it is that I want. I really can, and I need to take action and move forward. And now I'm like, maybe give you a little jump, like, okay, I'm ready to go and make this happen. Some of you very well can say you're already in that vibe, like that pushed something for you, or it manifested something for you, right? Enlightening, like you came to a realization that you really are prepared. You've been watching this. You watch readings. You've been watching me. I see those who picked this section, or for those of you that are new that picked Enlightening, you're doing the work. 35 of you picked Enlightening. But for those of you that picked it now and you're watching this fresh, you realized that you have powers. You are a witch. Oh my God, that's why I said that. You are a witch, a wizard, a warlock. I don't know if that's a bad thing or not, but it's not to me. And there is no worry here, right? Magician in the mirror. You looked at yourself. You reflected on this during the full moon in Cancer. Magician and the mirror. You looked in the mirror and realized that you actually do have the capabilities to manifest what it is that you want. And it's time to take action. It is time to take action. Let's pull an animal spirit here. Ooh, be fearless and bold, badger spirit. The synchronicities today are ridiculous, right? With action here. Okay, now that this was an enlightening full moon in Cancer for you, go and take action. Go and be fearless and bold. Go and go and fight whatever you need to do. You are more than prepared. The Magician always has all the tools that they need in order to manifest what it is that they really want. They understand what true balance is, right? This also tells me that you've been doing the work. You're emotionally stable. Your creativity, your fire is burning, right? Maybe you can speak to it. You can articulate what you need. And there's some sense of stability here as well. Wow, these cards just want to fly out. The Emperor and the King of Wands. You see the big picture behind it. It's enlightening because now you're about to be in control if you not already are. Or you have been in control, and it was just clarifying that you're more in control. A lot of masculine energy here. So I'm going to say that's the drive that's needed. Seeing the big picture, being joyful and courageous, which means you're grounded in some sense there. But now it's time to go and take action and actually do what it is that you want to do. What was enlightening to you, right? You tell me that in the comments. What was it that enlightened you here if you chose this section? Controlling things aspect, a sense of like you grasping it and moving forward and seeing the big picture behind it. Very well could have been different aspects to whatever I just said kind of touched you in a certain way if you really chose enlightening, right? Something, you saw a big picture behind something. You realize the powers and the capabilities you have and the control that you actually do have. And being fearless and bold and with action is go after it now. Now it's time to go and put in that sweat equity for it, right? Beautiful, beautiful, enlightening journey here that you guys went through. I like that a lot. Now let's tap into confusing. So if you chose confusing, if the full moon in Cancer was confusing for you, which most of you did, there was 53 people from my initial poll that chose confusing. And for those of you that just chose this now, let's kind of dive into see, what follow-up information do we need from the universe as to why this was confusing for you. The thinking man, you were thinking a lot. You were in your head a lot. Omens, very well could have seen a sign, messages, and divine love, right? So there's a big aspect here. I think you were thinking about, there's two birds here, how high you want to soar. I think it was confusing because maybe you thought a lot. You thought too much with the thinking man. Right? Some of you could have been thinking about a man. If you're a woman and you're thinking about a man, you know what I'm going to say. Why are you doing that? Anyway, I'm going to be nice there. And omens, right? There's an aspect, you were getting signs. Things were coming, right? It was confusing because you're like, but I thought this and now all of a sudden I see that. How high do you want to soar with this eagle, right? With this owl that's on here that sees things at night under the moon, right? They have night vision. Things might have come to realization for you. It was confusing, but it was also talking about divine love here. When you offer everything to the divine with detachment, you begin a love affair with spirit. Some of you very well could have expanded your spirituality, really saw some aspect in doing things with divine love and giving it all to the universe, right? Maybe that's a takeaway that you haven't seen yet, but an aspect of soaring and the confusing aspect is you might be overthinking things in your life. You might be overthinking these two wings here. And they're both eagles. Look, this one's also has, they're like feathered eagles. They're angels as well. You really could have been confused about what your end result is. What goal? Where do you want to soar? How far do you want to go? Or how far can you go? That could have been what you were thinking about. It's like, where do I want to go? Where do I want to fly to? How far can I go with this? And there's an aspect of divine love, and it's detach yourself from anything and everything and allow to come in what comes in, right? The reason why the people that chose peaceful were peaceful is because they gave true offering. I'm just going to show you their card. Look at the bird offering, right? I give you whatever, I give you my time, my work, my energy, knowing that you're going to give it back. And here it's pictured again, another bird with feathers. A big aspect of divine love, detaching yourself from what you think things should be and accept what is meant for you. That's why it was confusing, because you're probably going against what the universe has in store for you, because there's an expectation that you've been thinking about or that you think is so solid in your mind, but then you're also getting signs about something else. Someone else, right? Could have been, but this is very spiritual here, which I'm not surprised it's spiritual, because there's just a lot of things going on, and it really should not have been about other people. There was an aspect about home and safety and things in the home life, and about safety at the same time. And yeah, I actually lost a family member during this time as well. That's a home aspect, right? So it's like, the reason I'm saying that is because that's a home aspect, right? The house, people, your parents, people that live there. I didn't lose a parent, but the home could have been affected in some sense. But this, for you guys, is very spiritual in your sense. Maybe what you want your family to be, what direction you want your family to go, where you want your family to soar, or where your expectations are. But there was a big aspect of you're thinking too much and you're not allowing the universe to kind of really give you things because you're not detaching yourself. So it's confusing because you might have gone through moments of like, oh my God, I'm really detaching myself. And it's confusing to you because you're not sure if that's the right direction for you. That's too many cards. Let's kind of pull some cards here and see what comes out here for you guys. For the confusing folks. There's a lot of you that were confusing. Maybe some things I say might resonate. You were thinking too much. Soaring high, thinking about how high you can soar. Don't diminish the capabilities you have. And there's a big sense of when you detach yourself from things, then you begin a love affair with spirit. So that's really telling me that's a spiritual component. You're not trusting in the universe enough. And you're doubting yourself. You're doubting the universe. You're doubting your expectations. You're doubting your expectations right there, right? You're putting an expectation on something, and the universe will always provide more than what you expect. It might not just be what you want. It's what you need. King of Swords, Knight of Cups, Page of Pentacles. Look at that. The elements are there. Bottom of the deck. Some of you very well could have been, sleepless nights, worried about things, so confused, really in your head, right? But at the same time, with the Temperance card here, I feel like you are a spiritual being, right? You wouldn't be watching tarot and this reading if you were not a spiritual being here, right? So it's like, I'm grounded in some senses, but I'm still worried about things. That's why it's all happening, bottom of the deck. King of Swords, Knight of Cups, Page of Pentacles here. Thinking, what are you thinking about? There's something in your mind that you're so solid and secure about, right? But then there's an aspect of like, my heart is saying something else. But you're thinking, the thinking man with the most logical man in the deck, you're thinking too much and you're not following your heart. Right? And the emotional aspect is less. This is a knight and this is a king. So your mind is overpowering what your heart is trying to say, Knight of Cups. And you've been getting signs, you've been getting omens, you've been seeing synchronicities, you've been 11-11s, you've been spiritually being guided in a different direction to soar in a different direction for some of you. Could be away from a person or a place or a thing. And there needs to be some work put into detaching yourself from your expectations and allowing for the divine to give you what you need, not what you want. The effort needs to take place. Put in that work of detaching yourself, offering everything possible to the universe so that you can get what you really need, not what you want. I myself My takeaway from this full moon is the universe gave me what I needed, not what I wanted. And it was safe, and it was peaceful. My choice was peaceful because I saw what the universe presented to me during these couple days. And I was like, oh shit, that might not have been my first go-to, but it was exactly what I needed to see, what I needed to feel, what I needed to hear, what I needed to experience. Get out of your head. It's confusing because you're trying to set an expectation with the universe, and that's not how it's going to work. My name is Alvin Catalan. I am present, and I'm done speaking now.